my dear students. Today we are going to be learning your part B fifth program. Let us see what is the part B fifth program. Okay, write a program to count the number of vowels, digits, words, and white space in a given string. So if you enter a string, we have to count number of vowels that we know. A, E, I, O, U is a vowel, digits, words, and white spaces in a given string. Okay, so this is the aim of our program. Let us see how to solve this program. Okay, first we are writing hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, hash include ctype.h. Okay, these are the header file is required. This ctype.h is for character type. Okay, and next we are starting from the main function. Here we are declaring the variables. Please observe here char is a data type, s of 100 is a array variable. What is the name of array variable? S of 100. So it is a nothing but a character array. Okay, character array, it is called as a string. Character array is called as string. So what is the character array variable? S of 100. And here one normal variable c is declared. It is a character variable. Okay, so these are required because we want to read a string from the keyboard and we have to store in this array. We want to read a string from the keyboard and we have to store in this array. So that is why we have declared character s of 100 and c. Okay, and next we are declaring int vowel is equal to 0, space is equal to 1, digit is equal to 0. I here you are getting means a compulsory looping statement is exist, and L is for to do some calculations, and here space is equal to 0. Okay, so here we have declared two variable. This is one is for word and this is one is for space. Okay, let us just see. After declaration of the variables, we are using clear screen function. So afterwards we are writing one output statement. That output statement is enter the string. So we have to read a string from the keyboard. So to read that string, we are using the getSF function. What is the purpose of getSF function? It reads a string even if it consists of a white space, it is accessible, right? That is why we are using getSF function. GetS of yes. Next, for example, suppose if I write, let me check. Okay, suppose if I have read here as this is a comment line, I'm reading st dot space Mary's space college dot Shirva space at 574116. So this is the string I have read from the keyboard. Now let us see what is the length of this string. To identify that, we are using strlen function. So that is why we have to include here one more header file, that is hash include string.h, because strlen is a string handling function, right? So I forgot it. You just supposed to write hash include string.h. Okay, then what is the purpose of strlen function? This strlen function is used to identify the number of characters present in total number of characters present in a string. Let us see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34. So what is the length of the entire this string? 34. So how we are calculating? By using strlen function. To work this strlen function, we must include string.h header file. Okay, so here L will come as a 34. Got it? And next we are using for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than L. What is the L? It is total length of a characters, that is 34, right? Yes. Now condition is true, 0 less than 34 is condition is true, automatically it will enter into the block. Here the block is exist. I'm taking character c variable. So here to lower function is there. We are checking whether it is a to lower. Okay, so to lower of s of I. What is the 0th location value? What is the value we have stored in 0th location? That is s. Okay, it is in a lowercase, right? So it is 0, correct. Now it will come here that s will be stored in c. If c equal to a, what is the c value now? Yes, s equal to a, false. S equal to e, false. S equal to I, false. S equal to o, false. So as we know, it is a AEIOU, right? So if it is exist in uppercase, it will convert to lowercase. Okay, that's it. Okay, and now vowel plus plus. If this condition is true, it will come as a vowel plus plus, but it is not a true, it will skip and comes to the else if, and here it checks the condition is digit function. So what is the purpose of is digit function? It is used to identify whether the entered character is digit or not. Whether s is a digit, false, so it will skip this statement also, and it will come here else if. Else if is a space of, whether s is a space, no. If it is a space, the space value will be incremented, no. Condition is false, so once again I will come increment. Afterwards I become 1, 1 less than l, condition is true, and it will move to the next character. What is the next character? That is t. So it will check whether t is vowel, no, right? So as we know, likewise it will execute. Okay, and whatever the values is present, it will be stored in the digit plus plus, space plus plus, and else if space plus plus. Okay, so that is the one for loop. Now we are writing one more for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than l, I plus plus, condition is true. Okay, so we can included this here itself only, and we are checking one if condition. If s of I equal to blank, so here s of I equal to blank, logical and s of I plus 1. I plus 1 means if it is exists one more space is not equal to blank, then space value will be incremented. So we want to calculate the words, right? Here one space is given, right? So this is a one word, Maris is another word, college is another word, Shirva is another word, IT is another word, and 574116 is another word. So this for loop has written to calculate number of words present in your string. Okay, so actually we can incorporate this in here itself only. If we write this logic here itself is a better. Let me see in the next time. Okay, so as we know, what is the logic of this for loop? Okay, this for loop is used to identify whether it consists of a single space or double space or multi spaces. So that is the purpose of this for loop. Okay, sp is equal to sp plus 1. It will identify whether if it is a space. So after the t dot, it consists of a space, right? So 1 2 3 4. So in the fourth location it is a space, it will true, automatically this value will be incremented, and next here it is a true, it will be incremented. Got it? So here it is identified for the space, and it is used to identify for the number of words. What is the logic for? This logic is for identify the number of words. Got it? Yes, clear? So that is why we have written this logic separate out of this for loop. Okay, afterwards we are displaying the output printf the number of vowels percentage d vowel. So as we know here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 vowels are exist. It will print 6 vowels and digits. Let us see 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes, 6 digits and spaces. We want to identify 1 2 4 5, 5 spaces, and number of words 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 words are present. Okay, so whatever the values we have stored, it will be displayed here. Got it? Suppose if you write like this, smc space Shirva space 574116 at you are identifying the number of vowels is 2, digit is 6, number of words is 3, 1 2 3, because it is not consist of any spaces. Number of spaces 2, 1 and 2. Got it? Yes, likewise it will display. let us see the execution of this program. Okay, let us see the execution of this program. Now I'm opening the program. Here part B, this is our part B, fifth program I'm editing. So this is our program, no, not this program. Let me copy part B, fifth program. Yes, let me copy this. Okay, I'm copying and taking the notepad and I'm pasting. So we have to supposed to add one more header file, that is hash include string.h. Okay, and now I'm saving it as in Turbo C3. Please observe here, Turbo C3 is there. I'm storing with pb5 pb5 sorry 5.c. okay, so pb stands for part B, fifth program. Now let me open my editor. Where is our editor? Turbo C++ editor is exist here. Yes, start Turbo C++. Yes, open our file. What is the name of the file? pb5.c. so this is our program. Oh, here the program mistake is there. Yes, save it. Let me compile. Is there any error? No error. Let me run it. It is asking for the, okay, I'm typing save. So here it is showing number of vowel is 6, number of digit is 0 because it has not appeared right. Let me run once again. Control F9, st dot ry apostrophe s. I'm giving one more space, one more space, one more space, one more space. College is comma space 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 space. Sherva space 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 574116. Let me check. The number of vowel is 6. Okay, number of digit is 6. Number of words are 6. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and the number of spaces are 40. Here the 1, here 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Some spaces are exist. Got it? So likewise you can execute this program. Okay, so this is your part B, fifth program. Now let us see part B, sixth program, last program in part B section. So write a program to print addition of two matrices using pointers. So here we have to do by using pointers concept. Okay, yes, let us see this program. Okay, for this you just observe here we have done some global variable declaration and local variable declaration. Okay, so first we have declared your hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h. so this is a global variable declaration. Okay, this is global variable declaration. And what we have defined here, it is addition of two matrices, right? So that is why it is a two-dimensional array. We have declared here int a of 5 comma 5 5 b of 5 5 row comma col. Okay, so here it clearly indicates this is of 5 rows and 5 columns we can able to store. In the B also we can able to store 5 rows and 5 columns of information, and we have to specify how many number of rows and how many columns. For that we have used this row comma column. Okay, void add int star, and here one script of 5 is given. This is function prototype declaration. So this is a function prototype declaration. uh, this is the concept of you have specified int star means it is using a concept of array in pointers. Okay, array in pointers, star indicates one dimensional array, and if you specified one script means it is automatically two dimensional array. Okay, function to prototype declaration, array in pointer. Okay, so int of star means it is a one dimensional array, and one script is included means automatically it is a two dimensional array pointer declaration, and this is the function prototype declaration. What is the name of a function? Here the name of the function is add. Okay, here the name of the function is add. Right, afterwards we are starting from int main function. Now we are declaring variables, required variables for our processing. Here we int c of 5 comma 5 because if I store certain values in a and if I store certain values in b, I am treating a as a matrix a, b as a matrix b. We have to calculate c is equal to a plus b. Okay, that is why we are declaring here int c of 5 5 I comma j. I comma j are coming means it is for nested for loop. Okay, and next we are declaring the clear screen function. After the variable declaration we have to specify the clear screen function. Now I am writing one output statement, enter the rows. We have to specify how many number of rows. So I am here specifying from the keyboard. Scanf function means we have to enter the value from the keyboard, right? So I am specifying it is 2 rows, and once again I am displaying one more output statement, enter the column. It will be displayed as it is, and here also we have to specify columns. So we have to read it from the keyboard and store in the columns. So what is the value of a column? It is also 2. So how many rows and how many columns we have to store? 2 rows and 2 columns. So in 2 rows and 2 columns, how many values we can able to store? 4 elements, right? So now it is our time to store 4 elements in matrix A, array A. Okay, so for that we have write one output statement. Here we have written one output statement, enter matrix A value, enter matrix A value. So it means we have to read the value from the keyboard and store in that location. Okay, for that we have written the nested for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than row. What is the row? 2 rows. Condition is true, it will enter here. For j is equal to 0, j less than column. Condition is true, it will enter here. Here what is the scanf function means? Scanf function means we have to read and store the value in this location. So whatever the value we are reading from the keyboard, that will be stored in this location. What is this location? 0 0. Okay, I value is 0, j value is 0. I am storing it as a 1. Afterwards where the control will come? Control will come to I incrementation. Now I become 1, 1 less than 2. Condition is true. Scanf means we have to read and store the value. In which location? Whatever the value you have read from the keyboard, in which location it will store? 0 1. Okay, in 0 1 location it will store. Right, now I am storing it as a 2. So where the value 2 will be stored? In 0 1 location. Afterwards where the control will come? Control will come for the j incrementation. J become 2, 2 less than 2. Condition false. Right, it will skip and it will come to the outer for loop. Now I become 1, 1 less than 2. Condition is true. It will enter into the inner for loop, and j is equal to 0, j less than 2. Condition is true. Now you have to read the value from the keyboard and store in this location. Whatever the value you are reading, that will be stored in 1 0 location. In 1 0 location I am storing it as a 3. Okay, what is the value I am reading from the keyboard? It is a 3. In which location I am storing? 1 0. Afterwards where the control will go? It will go for j incrementation. Now j become 1, 1 less than 2. Condition is true. Whatever the value you are reading, it will be stored in a of 1 1 location. In a of 1 1 location I am storing it as a 4. Okay, got it? Yes. Afterwards j will be incremented. Now what is the value of j? J is 2, 2 less than 2. Condition false. Afterwards where the control will go? Outer for loop. In outer for loop I will be incremented. Already I is 1, 1 plus plus is 2, 2 less than 2. Condition false. It skips. Got it? Now we want to read the value of, please observe here, whatever the values we have read, We have read the value as in the a of 0 0 we have stored 1, and a of 0 1 we have stored it as a 2, a of 1 0 we have stored it as a 3, and a of 1 1 we have stored it as a 4, right? So we are writing the same logic for reading the values for the matrix B. Okay, so we are writing the same logic, and we are writing enter the matrix for B, so we have to read the values and store in these locations. So same above statement, but here we are using B of ij, that's it. Okay, so here I am going to storing these values in this location, B of 0 0 as 1, b of 0 1 as 2, and b of 1 0 b of 1 0 as 3, and b of 1 1 as 4. Okay, so I'm storing the b of 1, so same thing we have done, right? Afterwards, this is the main logic, we are calling this function. Okay, what we are doing, we are calling the function. Already prototype declaration has done, and here we are passing int add of c. So here function call. So in the function we are passing the c argument. Let us see what it will happen. Here it comes void add int c of 5 rows and 5 columns. 5 rows and 5 columns, right? And automatically control moves to here, and here we have declared local two variables int ij. Here this is the logic for addition of two matrices. Okay, yes, now let us see, we are writing the same above for loop only for I is equal to 0, I less than row. What is, how many rows? 2 rows. If it is a condition is true, it will come here. J is equal to 0, j less than 2, condition is true. C of 0 0, in C of 0 0 location what I am storing? A of 0 0 plus B of 0 0. What is the A of 0 0 value? It is 1, plus B of 0 0, what is the value? 1. 1 plus 1 2. Where I am storing? I am storing in C of 0 0. In Z of 0 0 it is 2. Okay, afterwards where the control will go, control will come as j incrementation. Now j become 1, 1 less than 2, condition is true. Now it is C of 0 1. Okay, what is the location? C of 0 1 is equal to A of 0 1 plus B of 0 1. What is the A of 0 1 value? It is 2. What is B of 0 1 value? It is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, and next where the control will go, j incrementation. J become 2, 2 less than 2, condition false. It will skip, and it will come to the I incrementation. Now I become 1, 1 less than 2, condition is true. It will come here, j is equal to 0, j less than 2, condition is true. Here it will come. Okay, it is a C of 1 and 0. C of 1 0, I am storing A of 1 0 plus B of 1 0 value. What is A of 1 0 value? It is 3. What is B of 1 0 value? It is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, afterwards J will be increment. Now J become 1, 1 less than 2, condition is true. C of 1 and 1 location. Okay, so C of 1 1 is equal to A of 1 1 plus B of 1 1. So what is the A of 1 1 location value? It is 4. What is the B of 1 1 location? It is also 4. 4 plus 4, it is 8. Got it? So this will be processed. Afterwards J will be increment. J become 2, 2 less than 2, condition false. It will skip. Once again I will be increment. Now I become 2, 2 less than 2, condition false. It will skip. So after that it has stored this value. So now we want to display the output. So here we have written, it will return here, control will return here, and we have written the output statement, addition of two matrices. For I is equal to 0, I less than rho, it is a true, condition is true. For j is equal to 0, j less than 2, condition is true. Printf %d slash t c of ij. So what is the value of c of ij? That is 0 0 location, it is 2. Sorry, yes, c of 0 0 location it is 2, c of 0 1 location it is 4, c of 1 0 location is 6, and c of 1 1 location is 8. It will repeat. Okay. So afterwards here we have written the return 0. This statement is returns the value 0 to main function. So this is your program. Let us try to run this program and we'll see. So this is the last program. This is the last program. Let me copy this program first. Okay. So this is our program. Let me copy. And take the notepad. Paste it. Sorry. Does not copy. Copy. Sorry. Control Z. Control C. Now paste and save it. Now it is pb6.c. So pb6.c. Now we are opening pb6.c for to be sixth program. Alt F9, there is no error. Control F9, there is no error. I'm giving it as a 2 2. I'm storing 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So it is a 2 4 6 8. So let us see how it has been executed. By pressing F7 we will came to know how it has executed. It is asking for the rows and it is asking for the yes. Now you are seeing two rows and two columns. Once again I'm running F7. We have to enter values for matrix A. I'm giving one. Once again it is coming for F7. Yes. It is asking for row F7. It is asking for column F7. It is asking for the value. Okay. Let me run once again. It is asking for two rows F7, two columns F7. It is asking for the matrix and okay. So you just try to execute it, and while executing you will understand how it has calculating. Okay, hope you understand this lab programs. We will see in the next class. See you.